guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to a video called 10 Best Places to Visit in the UK in 2026. I think that just the UK, because it's not just England, they have so many things to offer. There's so many cities, there's so many towns, there's just so many things that I don't really know how you can narrow it down to only 10. But I guess we'll see. So let's check it out and comment, like, and subscribe.
I've spent over a year traveling throughout the United Kingdom over the course of the last few years, exploring England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Today, I'm counting down the 10 best places to visit across the entire UK, the most stunning landscapes, the coolest cities, and the most unforgettable experiences. I asked Jeremy to help me out with this list since he's also spent several months exploring the UK, and we've put together what we think is the ultimate guide to the best destinations across all 4 countries. Whether you're planning your first trip to the UK or you're a seasoned traveler looking for your next adventure, these are places that we think you absolutely must visit. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for in-depth guides to each one of these destinations, the best foods to try, and so much more.
Coming in at number 10 is Glasgow, Scotland's largest city. We first visited Glasgow at the end of our very first trip to the UK, and we immediately fell in love with the city's vibe and incredibly warm and friendly locals. While Edinburgh gets most of the attention, I think Glasgow offers a more authentic Scottish experience. The city center is incredibly walkable with amazing shopping along Buchanan Street and Style Mile. The architecture is stunning.
Which one's closer to England? Is it Glasgow or Edinburgh? I would assume Edinburgh is closer to London, or is it the other way around? No, I think it's the other way around.
Victorian buildings to modern designs, and there's this incredible energy that keeps drawing us back. If you've never
What's up with this sculpture with the horse and the statue and the traffic
tried Pizza Crunch, it's basically a deep fried pizza that originates in Glasgow.
What?
Plus, you have to try a deep fried Mars bar if you haven't. Glasgow is cool, unpretentious, and absolutely worth adding to your Scotland itinerary.
Number 9 is Pembrokeshire, a coastal county in southwest Wales. It has some of the most stunning coastline in the entire UK. I just visited on my last solo trip, and instantly it became one of my favorite spots. The main town I stayed in was Tenby, an incredibly colorful seaside town with pastel buildings and medieval walls right on the coast. If you've never been to Tenby, you need to put it on your list. I grabbed fish and chips from Piper's and ate them right on the beach, and when the tide goes out, you can walk across to St. Catherine's Island to explore a 19th century fort. Just outside Tenby is Pembroke Castle. This massive medieval castle dates back to 1093 and has everything from a great tower you can climb to a genuinely creepy cave underneath. But the real highlight is the boat tour from
Can you just go and attend it to the cave? I'd be scared.
Haven to Skomer Island to see puffins. There are 35,000 puffins that migrate here every year, and watching them nest in burrows and fly around is just absolutely magical. You should also visit St. David's Cathedral and the lily pad trails at Bosherton. The Welsh coastline in Pembrokeshire is stunning, and this area deserves way more attention than it gets.
At number 8 is Newcastle upon Tyne in northeast England. If you live in the UK, there's a good chance that Newcastle isn't on your travel bucket list, but maybe it should be. We've been multiple times, and what I love about this city is its fascinating history blended with a modern, lively spirit. You can't miss the iconic Tyne Bridge. One of the other things we love most about Newcastle is that it's definitely a foodie city. Granger Market dates back to 1835, and it's a must visit. We've had amazing sausage rolls, unique cheeses, and had one of the best chicken sandwiches we've ever had.
Is the UK or England known for their cheese?
At Feds. Make sure you try Newcastle specialties like Savoy Dip, which is a Savoy sausage in a soft bap with stuffing, butter, and mustard. Another highlight is the quirky WC Gin Closet, possibly the world's smallest gin bar set in a former women's toilet. Newcastle is only a 90-minute train ride from Edinburgh, and with incredible places like Durham nearby, it's definitely worth a visit. If you're enjoying this countdown, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We have in-depth videos on each of these destinations with more details on what to see, what to eat, and how to plan your trip.
The Lake District comes in at number 7. Located in northwest England, the Lake District is home to England's tallest peaks, deepest lakes, or meres as they're known in these parts, and the most breathtaking scenery. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site and absolutely lives up
for a good reason. Do you understand why all the poets sort of went there?
The views are amazing, but what I didn't expect was how much I would fall in love with each of the towns. Places like Keswick, Windermere, and Ambleside are all worth exploring, and there's everything here from great pints to historic landmarks, even a pencil museum. You can't visit the Lake District without stopping in Grasmere to get the world-famous gingerbread from Sarah Nelson's Gingerbread Shop. They've been crafting this unique treat from a secret recipe since 1854, and it's absolutely worth the wait in line. Nearby is Castlerigg Stone Circle, and it is amazing. Unlike Stonehenge,
how many stone circles do they have in England? What?
You can walk right up and around these stones. There are incredible views in every direction. It is absolutely worth the stop. On my last visit, I went to a county show, something I had never done before. I saw sheep competitions, dog shows, had some tasty coffee out of a horse trailer, all while being surrounded by those picturesque Lakeland peaks.
Oh my God,
Lake District is a place you could easily return to again and again. The natural beauty combined with the delightful towns makes it an absolute must visit.
Bristol comes in at number 6, and this southwest England city is known as one of the coolest cities in the UK for a reason. Bristol has this incredible energy, from Banksy's iconic street art to the engineering marvel of the Clifton Suspension Bridge. There's just something special about this place. The Clifton Suspension Bridge is absolutely stunning. Designed by Brunel in the 1830s, it spans 700 feet across the gorge, and it's
1830? What? 1854? In the 1800s? What? How come something like this is still
145 feet above the water? It was originally made for horse-drawn carriages and now sees over 4 million cars a year. Speaking of Brunel, you have to visit the SS Great Britain. His incredible steam-powered ship has been beautifully restored and sits in the same dry dock where it was built. The whole experience is so immersive, with different smells in each room and interactive exhibits.
Was that an aspect? Oh my God, what was that?
The harbor side has been transformed into a cool cultural hub with museums, markets, and great food. St. Nick's Market is absolutely worth visiting. We had some of the best barbecue we've ever had there, and that's coming from Americans who have tried barbecue all over the southern U.S. What made our Bristol experience really special was that our friend of the channel, John Robbins, sent us on a locals tour of the city, showing us the pubs and neighborhoods that make Bristol so unique. Bristol has this energy, rooted in independence and creativity, and you absolutely need to add it to your UK itinerary.
Just a short drive or train ride from Bristol. Number 5 is the Cotswolds. This region in southwest England will make you feel like you're living in an English fairy tale. It's full of rolling hills, honey-colored stone cottages, and the loveliest villages you've ever seen. You have to visit Bybury to see Arlington Row, which is widely considered England's most iconic street. These cottages date back to the 1300s, and they are really, truly amazing to see in person.
So old.
In Bourton-on-the-Water, also known as the Venice of the Cotswolds, you can admire the stone bridges arching over the river and visit the model village, which has intricate
how tall was that horse?
detailed miniatures of everything in the village, down to even having its own tiny model version of the model village. From there, you can walk to nearby Lower Slaughter.
Love it.
Each town has its own unique charm, and it's lovely to explore as many as you can.
We
also visited Stow-on-the-Wold and saw the Tolkien door and the original medieval stocks.
The best food we had in the Cotswolds were the 2-in-1 pies at the Weybridge Inn.
Half the dish is a decadent pie filling, and the other half is filled with the most delicious, creamy cauliflower cheese. If you're looking for a place to visit in the picturesque English countryside, the Cotswolds is truly a real-life storybook escape.
I'm there already.
Belfast comes in at number 4. Belfast is the capital of Northern Ireland, and we absolutely loved the vibe of the city. Everyone we met was incredibly friendly, from our cab driver giving us recommendations to bartenders pointing us to the best pubs. The people of Belfast genuinely made our experience special. The Titanic Belfast Museum.
Was that a sculpture carrying a beer barrel?
It was hands down one of the most well-done museums we've ever been to anywhere in the world. They tell the entire story of the Titanic, from its construction to the discovery of the wreckage.
It just dawned on me, this is sort of replicating the shape of the ship, right?
And they do it so respectfully and thoughtfully. The building itself was designed to feel like the ship hulls, and it sits right on the slipway where the Titanic was actually constructed. But Belfast has so much more to offer. St. George's Market is this massive award-winning market from the 1890s with incredible food. The pub scene is also fantastic. We visited the Crown Liquor Saloon, one of the finest examples of a Victorian-era pub, complete with snugs you can sit in. What could be better than having a pint of Guinness in a snug? The Duke of York is another pub that was highly recommended and lived up to the hype. We also explored the beautiful botanical gardens, the Ulster Museum, and just enjoyed wandering this vibrant city.
Before we get into the top three, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to a couple of honorable mentions. Places that didn't quite make the top 10 but are absolutely worth visiting. The Peak District is stunning with its dramatic landscapes, charming villages like Bakewell, and incredible hiking. And Loch Ness was a dream come true to see. We even stopped at Nessieland, a quirky little tourist trap that's a roadside attraction in the best way. There are so many other places that we'd love to add like this, but both are definitely worth adding to your UK itinerary. Number 3 on our list is the Isle of Skye. This rugged island off the west coast of Scotland is one of the most dramatic and beautiful places in the entire UK, with everything from towering mountains to stunning coastlines. We took a boat tour out of Portree, which is this lovely harbor.
The roads look treacherous, but pretty.
With iconic, colorful buildings lining the waterfront. On the tour, we saw all kinds of animals, everything from seals to eagles, even dolphins.
Oh, there's dolphins?
Where you can see actual dinosaur footprints, megalosaurus tracks that date back 165 million years.
We also had some of the best fish and chips we've ever had at the Hungry Hole.
But what really made our Isle of Skye experience special was staying in a glamping pod with panoramic views of the countryside and the sea.
Wow.
Waking up to those sky landscapes right outside our window was absolutely magical. It was so peaceful and cozy. I could have stayed there for weeks, maybe even months. It was fantastic. The Isle of Skye has incredible hiking, dramatic scenery, and this remote, otherworldly quality that you just don't find anywhere else. One thing to note, we visited in early spring when a lot of the land still has that winter brown color. So if you want to see Skye when it's green and most colorful, plan your trip between May and June when the wildflowers are in bloom.
Coming in at number 2 is Cardiff. The capital of Wales, Cardiff completely surprised us on our first visit. The city centre is anchored by Cardiff Castle, which sits on the site of an original Roman fort. The castle was remodeled in Gothic Revival style. And the clock tower...
It's crazy that this looks old, but no, it's even older than you think.
With all its gold details is absolutely stunning. But what really makes Cardiff special are the Victorian shopping arcades. Cardiff is known as the City of Arcades, and they're filled with independent shops and unique finds. My favorite was Spiller's Records, the oldest record store in the world, established in 1894. It's in the...
Do they even had records in 1894? I guess they did, with a gramophone.
Morgan Arcade. And walking through these arcades with all their ornate details and quirky stores is just a fantastic experience.
I went back to Cardiff on my last solo trip, and it completely won me over. I spent time at the Cardiff Market, which has been around since 1891. It has everything from traditional fishmongers to record shops to retro clothes. And you absolutely have to try Welsh cakes when you're in Wales. I tried them both at the market at Cardiff Bakestones and in Fabulous Welsh Cakes in the Castle Arcade.
Oh, they're
Honestly,
sweet.
You can't go wrong with any option. I overheard a waiter describe them as a flattened, griddled scone, and maybe that's why I love them so much. They're delicious. You got to try them.
I thought it was pancake.
Cardiff Bay is also worth exploring. I did this boat tour that was one of the most fun things I've ever done. It's basically a joyride where they play great music and speed you around the bay.
That looks
really
so
nice
fun.
views, and it's just a fun time. I also visited nearby St. Fagans National Museum of History. It's this incredible open-air museum where they've taken historic Welsh buildings and rebuilt them on the grounds. It's really well done. You could spend a whole day there, and it's free. Cardiff has this perfect blend of history, culture, great food, and it's just really walkable and a very cool vibe.
And the number 1 place to visit in the UK is Yorkshire and Northern England. Now, I know saying Yorkshire may be cheating a little, since it's now technically divided into 4 counties. But here's why Yorkshire takes the top spot. Whether you're planning your first trip to the UK or you're a local, there's so much to explore in Yorkshire. It truly offers something for everyone. Even the most seasoned traveler will find things that they haven't seen yet. If you're visiting London or Edinburgh, Yorkshire is the perfect destination to add. It's only about a 2-hour train ride from the high-speed LNER trains to York. York is the quintessential medieval English city. It was founded by the Romans in 71 AD, has a Viking past, and is a walled city with incredible historic buildings.
There's so many
York
things.
Minster is absolutely stunning, and just walking through the city walls transports you back in time. The medieval streets, the historic charm, York is everything you'd imagine when you think of historic England.
But Yorkshire is so much more than just York. Want to explore a charming town? Knaresborough is an easy day trip with a stunning viaduct and a lovely riverside. Want a fancy spa day? Harrogate is just right nearby. And Leeds is genuinely one of the coolest cities in all of the UK. It has amazing museums like the Royal Armouries, which is massive and free. It also has great coffee shops and just a really cool urban vibe. Yorkshire also
surprisingly had good coffee. I thought they only had tea and good tea in England.
Offers incredible variety for every type of traveler.
You can't go to the UK without getting fish and chips by the seaside. And Yorkshire has some of the best coastal towns for exactly that. Whitby has so many amazing options. Broyle Fisheries, Trenchers, and Magpie, all offering easily some of the top fish and chips in the country. You really can't go wrong. But there are so many amazing seaside towns too. Scarborough, Saltburn by the Sea, and the lovely fishing village of Robin Hood's Bay. Each one has its own unique charm and character.
I just can't get enough of the Yorkshire coast. Like, any of the places that we've been on the Yorkshire coast have been just wonderful places to visit. But Whitby especially is just a place you have to visit if you've never been. But if you want nature, Yorkshire also offers that. The Yorkshire Dales have some of the most beautiful rolling hills and countryside hikes in the country. The towns and villages there have their own distinct charm, and it's really also a lovely place to visit.
What is
Yorkshire
this place?
Truly offers something for everyone. Medieval history, cool cities, amazing coastlines, fantastic countryside, world-class museums. This is my plea to you. If you're traveling to the UK and you only have London or Edinburgh on your itinerary, add Yorkshire or any one of these places on this list for a completely different UK experience. Yorkshire especially is accessible, diverse, and absolutely unforgettable. You will not regret adding any one of these places to your itinerary.
And that's our list of the top 10 best places to visit in the UK.
Wow, move away, London. I don't want to go to London anymore. No, this obviously no offense to London, but this is making a really good case because I think a lot of people just plan, their travels around London because obviously it's a big city. But no, I want to go to Yorkshire now. Is it because I thought it was Yorkshire, but is it Yorkshire? Is that how you pronounce it? I'm a little confused by the whole Yorkshire of it all. I thought Yorkshire was a place, right? And well, it is a place, obviously, but I thought it was just one city. But apparently it's sort of wrong. York is one city in Yorkshire, but Yorkshire has Leeds and other places. So it would be like, I don't know, what can I liken this to? Sort of the southern USA? You have obviously a lot of states, you have a lot of cities, or maybe, New England. Well, New England is in the New England region. I don't know, there's a lot of states that and towns that make up that. So is this sort of similar? You call it Yorkshire, but it's just because it's the province, but there's just a lot of districts, or they mentioned districts or states. Is a district the same as a state? I don't really know about the British sort of political system, but I would assume that's the case, right? Yes, it's one big district called Yorkshire, and then, or is it the opposite? What is Yorkshire then? Is Yorkshire the state, and then there's the provinces, the districts, and those are the Leeds and York and all the others? I would love to know because I'm realizing that I have no idea. But yes, I want to go. I think there's just so many cool things. Yes, just even in Yorkshire, you can stay there. I think feasibly your whole journey, your whole trip there, and you're gonna have a really good time. There's really something for everyone. I love that there's the beach parts, the coastal parts, but you also have the sort of more woodsy areas. I love it. And there's also the city areas in which you can actually, walk around the middle of the town. And there's just so many things to do. You have the museum. I don't know. It's just lovely. And I want to go there. Like yesterday. The others that obviously, because there's where do I choose? The Isle of Skye. Oh my God. Incredible. You can see dinosaurs. Well, not dinosaurs, obviously. You can see the dinosaur prints and there's museums and stuff. I don't know how far the island is from, they mentioned Scotland, but I don't know what part of Scotland. And I don't know how far away is it. Can you only go there, by boat? Do they have an airport? I would love to know, but absolutely, I now want to go as well. That's the great thing about this kind of videos. It's just making you, oh my God, yeah, I want to go. Yeah, sure, sign me up. The other they were all incredible. I love the one that they had. I think it was the second one that came in number 2. Although, come to think about it, maybe it was on Yorkshire as well. The one with the museum, as they replicate how people used to live, those old cabins. in which people used to live in the, I don't know, 1400. I don't even know, because it wasn't sort of Victorian era or, you know, even the medieval times. I think it was older than that, probably older, you know, medieval sort of, and a little bit older. I love all those huts. I wouldn't want to call it a hut. It's maybe a cabin. I don't know. But I like the idea of them sort of replicating this and sort of true to obviously what we know and the history and all. And I love that you can just sort of check it out and be, oh my God, and see how can you, I don't know, imagine your life, how you would have fared if you would have been born in this time period and see, would have gone insane. Maybe not, because you don't really know what you're missing, right? So this is your life, and you would have been super happy to live there. But yeah, I want to know exactly how those, you know, how they lived, but way back in those days. And of course, the one in Belfast, obviously Belfast, incredible. I mean, the city itself is just very, as I mentioned, they have so many great pubs. Well, but they mentioned bars, I think. I'm gonna call them pubs, because I assume that's how they call it over there. But they had so many of them. They look so cool. Yes, I want to go and have. Do they call it a pub crawl? Is that how it's called? As in, you go to several pubs and then, you know, you have a beer in one of them, and you know, you go and you visit, I don't know, 5 or 6 pubs a night. Oh my God, they look so incredibly awesome. Everything looks cool. It's just take me there. And of course, the Titanic Museum. I don't think you can miss that. I really do like, obviously, because the Titanic, it's such a huge, you know, I think it takes up such a huge, I know, part, or it takes a huge part, I think, in world history. I think it's normal to be curious about how the journey went, and obviously how the actual construction of the ship, how it was. And I love that you can learn more about it. And also I like that the fact that it's sort of in the same place, and it's sort of docked in the ocean. Obviously it's not docked because obviously it's a museum, it's not floating, but I like the idea of the design itself and how it's sort of coastal. And you can see sort of, yeah, itself from there, right? I think, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I think itself from that part of the world, basically, and that probably not that bay in particular. But I like the idea of you sort of taking, I know it's kind of respectful, as I said, to sort of keep it as, I don't know, as traditional, and keep it as close to the history of the ship as it was and as you can. I really like that. I would absolutely add it to my list because I think it's great. The one with the Nessie one, I think, you know, Loch Ness, I think it's really funny. I don't know if I would go to the museum though. I think there's just, again, not to be the museum of Nessie and the loch itself and the lake, but I just think if you're short for time, I don't know, I think I would do other things. I think there's just so many cities that I wasn't aware of all the cool attractions and how pretty they basically all were. I think it's just because they're so nice to look at, and I think this is the case for probably all those 10 places that they mentioned. It's not only as if you have attractions to go, it's just everything's so beautiful that you're just gonna have a great time. Just take a look around, have a walk, take a walk, have a little boat ride, go on a little boat ride. I don't know, just have a little journey, have a little trip. You're gonna have a great time because you're surrounded by nature or by these beautiful towns that it's impossible for you to be unhappy, basically. And oh my God, yes, I want to try the gingerbread, and then the famous gingerbread, and of course the Cotswolds, gorgeous place apparently, although I still don't really understand what Cotswolds means. Is that the region is sort of Yorkshire, but all over again is that you have different towns and you have different cities, and the Cotswolds, it's the main region, as in the region, the state. I don't know, it's very confusing to me for some reason. But yes, the other things, as in the Lake District, I love the Lake District. I think it's just gorgeous. I love the idea you can feasibly, I don't know if you can actually, but you can go, and you can obviously go visit several times and stuff, but you can sort of go and say, yes, I want to go. Probably they do this, right? They have a tour that's sort of, we're going to go to several of those places and to several lakes, to several lake districts, and yeah, you can take a look around and sort of, we're staying for the weekend here, or maybe we're staying for 3 days, a tour in the Lake District, because there's just so many things to do and to see that, again, it's just you would need a lifetime. I'm surprised that this person spent, I think, was just one year traveling, because it seems like a lot, but actually if you take a look at the actual list, and again, it's sort of in the space that it takes up in your life, as in, I was traveling for a year. it's not really a lot, right? It sounds crazy to say, but it's not a lot in the great sort of scheme of things. A year is nothing. It's just impossible to check out everything in a year. You would need like 5 years to take a look around at everything. And actually, yes, and to, of course, to go back to the places, your favorite places. But I think this is a great list. And yes, take me to Yorkshire. Yeah, I want to move there. And that was it for today. And I'll see you soon. Bye.